It's the Ukrainian political thriller that's far from reaching its final chapter. That's as jailed ex-Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko's pardon request has just been turned down. And on top of the 7-year sentence she's already serving for abuse of power, she may now be prosecuted for murder. A defense team branded the charges as nonsense, as RT's Alexei Yarashevsky reports.
From being allegedly beaten up by prison guards to seeing her supporters storm the hospital where she's undergoing treatment, Ukraine's former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko has been in a lot of trouble lately. She has now served 18 months of a 7-year prison term for abuse of power when she signed gas deals with Russia in 2009. But this could get a lot worse because of her alleged links to an assassination almost 2 decades ago. In 1996, Ukrainian Member of Parliament Yevgeny Shcherbany was shot dead in eastern Ukraine. Back then, a confession by one of his killers shocked the country.
The man who paid us for the job mentioned that Shcherbany's killing was ordered by a man nicknamed Pasha. It was obvious to us that under Pasha he meant Pavel Lazarenko, Ukraine's prime minister.
Lazarenko never faced charges for those allegations. He spent 12 years behind bars in the United States for tax evasion and fraud and is now seeking political asylum across the Atlantic. But in a typical Ukrainian roller coaster-style twist, his name has recently surfaced again, together with Tymoshenko's.
We have ample proof that Lazarenko paid the first $500,000 to the gang which killed Shcherbany. Then another $2.3 million were transferred to the assassins by Yulia Tymoshenko.
Tymoshenko is currently on a second trial for alleged tax evasion and money laundering in the 1990s when she led the United Energy Systems of Ukraine company. That could seriously increase her prison term. But if any connection to Shcherbany's murder is proved, she would remain behind bars for life. Her lawyers were quick to describe the accusations as nonsense.
The testimonies of the so-called witnesses are nothing concrete. They all refer to what they were told by other people who died or were killed 10 to 15 years ago. This is all I've seen that they have against her. This case was made up by the ruling elite when they understood that the gas case against Tymoshenko is falling apart.
But political analysts say that in the case of Ukraine's politicians, you just cannot rule anything out, as most of them do have skeletons in their closet.
Almost every politician in Ukraine can go on trial. Some didn't pay tax, some were involved in corrupt schemes. But as long as they obey the rules of the political game, they're not prosecuted. By calling the president and the government illegitimate after the change of power, Tymoshenko went beyond the boundaries of a democratic political game, and hence the rules of the game were changed.
This third case against Tymoshenko is now in a preliminary stage. It is still unclear what kind of evidence investigators have against her, but they seem confident there is enough to press charges before summer.
The thriller, which is the Tymoshenko case, has been rocking Ukraine for almost 2 years now. And all this time, supporters of the former Prime Minister have been picketing Kiev's Central Street. All the recent developments in the saga are clearly suggesting they will not be leaving anytime soon. Alexei Yarashevsky, RT, reporting from Kiev in Ukraine.